Hello, everybody. I'm going to tell you a little bit of story and actually how I started using computers. And it started back in high school. Turn that way. There you go. Yeah, it started back in high school. We used Apple II and Apple IIe computers. One of the science teachers, gave me a program called Format 2 Enhanced. It was this word processing program that I used for personal use. But most of the other teachers in school used a program called Bank Street Writer by Broderbund. And that's what got me started doing word processing, learning word processing. And using those Apple computers in high school, that also taught me basic language, which is basic is the acronym for Beginner's All-Purpose Symbolic Instruction Code. And then my first computer, my own personal computer that my mother bought for me, was a Commodore 16 with very, very limited memory, and it actually had a tape drive. You know, one of those cassette tape things that you put the cassette in it, and you can save your stuff to a cassette tape. And where do we go from there? And I didn't own a computer for a long time. And I moved to Birmingham after getting out of job when I graduated from Job Corps. And the company is no longer in existence. It was called Birmingham Typewriter. And I bought a 8088. No. I bought some kind of big ass IBM word processing machine, and I was using it. And then I used I had an IBM 8088. It was the IBM clone. And then, which didn't have Windows on it, it just had DOS 5 or 6 on it. And I was using a program, and WordStar. I was using a word processing program called WordStar, which one of the head people of the rescue mission. But before that, I actually had a Tandy Coco 3. Yes, I actually owned a Tandy Color Computer 3 with this big ass Epson wide carriage printer. I actually had to order a special cable for it to be able to use that color computer with that big old Epson printer. And then when I got my back pay and everything, a friend of mine took me to Office Depot, and my first real PC was a Compaq Presario 633. I don't remember how much memory it had in it. That was a long time ago. It had Windows 3.1. And it had some kind of weird book-looking thing. When Windows set up, this book-looking thing come open, and each tab was a different program, which had a program called WinFax. Now, I know a long time ago I used to use not Notepad, but the program, the other program that came with Windows. I can't think of the name of it. I used that for a long time. Sometimes I would use Notepad, and I don't even remember what. Then I moved over here, and I used that Compaq Presario 633, and it actually had a color VGA glass monitor. You know what I'm talking about. The old glass, the old picture tube type monitors. And I got the software from somebody. I was looking around on bulletin boards. I got to talking to one of the system operators, and he said I should do Wildcat bulletin board. So I downloaded the free version of Wildcat and ran it for a while. And as everything started growing and growing and growing, I upgraded the modem to a Intel 14.4 BPS modem, external. I upgraded from the Wildcat test drive version to Wildcat 4.11, and I ran a computer bulletin board from 1995 to 2001. And when that other computer, the Compaq Presario that I had, died, I got all kinds of different computers, another Compaq computer. I can't remember what it was. It was a Pentium based. So yeah, my first real computer was a Commodore 16, but as far as a real PC, it was that Compaq 486. And I've been doing this for almost 30 years. I just remember back in the day when I was doing stuff with computers, SATA technology didn't exist back then. It was all IDE or SC SCSI drives, I guess is what we call them. And then I actually bought, after I moved here, after I did something, I sold that other Compaq. I refurbished it and sold it. I bought another Compaq Presario from Office Depot, and I ran it forever and ever and ever. It had Windows XP, not XP, but oh my goodness, I can't remember what that is. It was before Windows 10 came out, before Windows 7 came out. That could be, so I ran a computer. I've had different kinds of computers here that I use. I had an old Dell computer that I used for a long time to do all kinds of video work. When I started a YouTube channel, when I first started my first YouTube channel, I used an old Dell computer. And I did just about everything on it. In fact, I upgraded the memory. It had 4 gigabytes RAM memory because I upgraded the memory. Yeah, I used it for videos, making videos and making content and doing all kinds of business stuff. Then I watched Kerry Holzman. And I watched him for a while. And watching him build computers, I said, okay, I think I can do this. So I worked for a convenience store here. Instead of wasting my money, I saved my money. And when I had enough money, I went on Amazon and started looking at the parts that he was talking about. The only difference was the motherboard, but most of the parts were the same as what he had in his video. It's the same case, same power supply, everything. So in 2016, I transferred the money out of the savings account to my checking account. and I ordered the parts, and that's the computer I'm using right now. The only difference is this motherboard's been upgraded to a little faster motherboard with a little bit more memory to it. And that's it. It's the same power supply, same solid state drive. The only thing that had to be replaced on this computer was the DVD drive in it, because something happened. You'd have to hit the top of the, if you press the button, you had to hit the top of the computer for it to open. There was something wrong with the mechanism inside that DVD ROM drive. But I've been using custom built computers for a long time. The one that's behind me, which you can't see, that one sitting on the desk over there, is one that I built. And there's going to be videos of me working on it. I just wanted to tell that little story about how I got involved in computers. I know sometimes I can be boring, but hey. Alright, I appreciate everybody, and thank you for watching me.